In hindsight, the best part of the entire charade was, this is going to be a serious question.
What a great setup.
Hi there. I apologize for
Beat that.
I have a question for Jared.
Yeah, go in.
Misha said he would like to see this vacation season, or maybe instead of the cast a well-deserved massage.
Would he influence him on it? I think we just heard all
Yeah,
you know, I'm not really sure where to go with that. So I'm going to say that Sam, Dean, and Cass all are in need of a well-deserved massage. I guess maybe massages, because they're three people. Shoulders and neck. Shoulders and neck.
I bet there are many people who will volunteer for that.
Yeah? Any advice? Advices? She's like...
we have a volunteer, a massage volunteer here.
Well, thank you very much. You're awesome. Thank you.
Hi.
So nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you as well.
I have a question for Jared.
I'll tell you.
Let's hear your other question.
You said you like a band called Pearl Jam, and it is my favorite band. I love them. So I wanted to ask you, what are your favorite Pearl Jam songs?
I love the song Just Breathe. In fact, my wife, it was the first, many, but the first song I heard as a father was Just Breathe. My wife had made a birth playlist because she is in a natural birth and she wanted to have a playlist playing, and so she found some songs over the course of 40 weeks of pregnancy, and it was just on shuffle. And so she went into labor on Friday, gave birth on Monday, and then they sort of like, okay, the baby's healthy, all right, y'all go get in that room, and you sit there and you're like, and she was exhausted, she hadn't slept in 3 days. And so I have the baby, I have the still unnamed baby now called Thomas, and I'm sitting there, and the baby is so like gentle and delicate, and I'm like, I'm gonna break this thing. And I can't sleep, and Jane's asleep on this tiny little hospital bed, and she looks like she's gonna roll off, and I didn't want to move, but I saw her computer on the desk in the hospital room, and so I just leaned over and pushed the space bar button, and that brought the computer screen to life. And I'm holding little baby Tom at the time, and I just clicked the play button. I knew it was on her playlist because that's what had been playing, and so I pushed play, and Just Breathe came on. So that has a really special place in my life. It's a great song. Thank you. I'll take it. Those both suck. Is that terrible? I'd shave my head. I'd shave my head. Sam can wear a wig. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Hey guys,
Hi.
Russia here.
Yes.
Hello.
So I hope that you're having a great time, just as we're all here. So I know that you guys like to prank each other. So I wanted to know what was like the most hardcore prank that you have ever had on the set.
I think it was on camera. Let's go ahead.
Yeah.
I think probably the most hardcore prank was actually caught on camera, and my friend here was directing, and we really wanted to get him with whipped cream pie in the face. But he's faster than he looks. He's wider. And so I knew I had to do it quickly. Unfortunately for me, quickly equaled
Forcefully. For him, quickly means using your hips, winding up.
was one of those, like, I just wanted to, and so also, I don't know if y'all ever had like the pie foils, like pie, it's in pan, you make a pie and pie crust. You should put whipped cream in it, but if you tip it, it spills out because whipped cream isn't very substantive. And so I had to kind of go from this and keep the centripetal force to really smash it. And he had just come through the doorway in the Middle Letters Library, and with not a word of a lie, there was whipped cream like 15 feet away. And it splashed. And I guess I thought maybe, it's not like a pound cake or a sponge bread where it would slow down. I basically just hit him as hard as I could. Right in the face. It was great.
It was awesome. That entire week was a week of utter fear for me because Jensen and Jared had been scheming. You had a list or something, right? 30 or 40 things that they were going to do to me. And
the list we've been making since like season 4, by the way.
And it involved some pretty complex things, but I would get, I had a couple of moles. Like, people would come up to me and they'd be like, dude, whatever you do, don't let anyone into your apartment. And don't tell Jared and Jensen I told you that. You're probably thinking, who the fuck was that?
Someone's getting fired. Someone's getting fired. It was a fun week, for sure.
That's one way to look at it.
It was great. It was my favorite week of fun.
It was
awesome. I could do it
not
again.
a great experience.
I could do it
For being honest, it was terrible.
Do it.
No.
Yes.
No.
Says the Ruski.
Iditi Fitzorto.
3 people knows what they...
Relapse. Hi.
How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really nervous though.
That's okay. We won't. We won't.
I was wondering what.
We're not gonna.
I was wondering, what song do you think describes Sam and Cass the best?
Girl, You Know It's True by Millie Love. Either that or I Can't Go For That. All notes. Anything? Yeah. How Do You Talk to an Angel?
And
Thank you. Misha?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I would think maybe something like, there's a song that my kids really like, which is my Anaconda.
Baby Like That. Sir Mix-a-Lot. That's actually proper. Yeah, that works too. Thank you very much. Hi, how are you?
Hi, you?
Sweaty.
Did I ever tell you about Mason singing that song by Stu? We have this, the little kids like have photographic memories and they only have to hear something once. And the song came on while they were waiting in the car, and then Mason was like, just singing it. And the song goes, the naked Dutch painter in the kitchen does not wanna fuck you. She's like in her car seat with her pacifier in her mouth. Naked Dutch painter in the kitchen does not wanna fuck you.
Tom, funny you should say that. Tom just, we were at dinner and we were at Maudie's in Austin, if you've ever been, and they play music on, like, very, very low where you can talk, and it's a Mexican food restaurant near our house. And he starts going, fuck you up. What? Fuck you up. And I was like, and Jen and I are like, what? kiddo, what are you saying? He's going, funk you up. Uptown fuck you up. And I was like, Uptown funk you up. He's going, huh? Funk? Say it again, Daddy. Funk. Let's just not sing that song. Go ahead.
Is which one of the villains from Supernatural do you like the most? This question is for the both of you, and if there's
She's
one,
here somewhere.
if there's one in your list, Eric, if there is one.
I always personally thought Ruby number 2 was pretty hot.
She's somewhere.
I don't know where she is.
Me too.
Excluding my wife, I think my favorite villain has been, and possibly always will be, Lucifer.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
My least favorite, I don't know if this is like my Jared's perspective kicking in, but were the bugs, all the bees. And we filmed Bugs in season 1 with like 30,000 or 40,000 bees, actual bees in a room. And they hired real bees. And
They had to interview each bee. The audition process was really grueling. I don't like that one.
but it was exciting. I mean, the buzz in the room. But they made us film with actual flying bees that were all drone bees. And they were like, don't worry, as long as they don't get pissed off, they won't sting you. And we're like, what do you do to piss them off? And like, you know, if you hit them. They were like, we're in a scene where we're swatting bees. What do we, and they're like, no, well, don't hit them, just guide them away. So, it was gonna be a scene of Sam and Dean like this. And we were like, no, if a bee flies at me, I'm gonna swat it. And so we did, and we all got stung. And then we watched the episode, and we were like, oh, it looks good. And like, yeah, they CGI'd all the bees now. We're like, what? Like, yeah, they had to use computer animation to put bees in because the actual bees didn't show up on camera. So we all sitting there like getting stung, and we finally watched it like, oh, we had to use CGI anyways. Like, why did we all get stung with bees? And here's another fun part. When you film with a bee, at least in our world, they have to test to see if you're allergic to bee stings. So what they do to test to see if you're allergic to bee stings is they sting you with a bee. Not a word of a lie. They get giant tweezers like you see like insects and stuff being caught with, and they grab a bee and they put a little piece of wire mesh on your arm, and they're basically holding the bee and the tweezers, holding the wire mesh onto your arm, and you're sitting there like, what am I doing with my life? This is weird. And they put the little bee stinger in through the wire mesh and sting you. And you're like, ow, that sucks. Like, why? Okay. And they're like, well, we gotta look. And I guess the wire mesh just makes sure like the poison or something doesn't all go into your arm. But you still get stung with a bee. And so you're sitting there like, I'm literally just holding my arm out to get stung by a bee. So that sucked. That's my opinion. Mr. Misha?
Were they union or non-union bees?
I'm not at liberty to say.
I don't know what I actually agree with the Lucifer Pellegrino's
Thank you.
version.
No, thank you.
Pellegrino's.
thank you.
Pellegrino's.
Oh, that's great. Oh, who's heard of this? The white suit and stuff. Yeah, thanks, man.
And least favorite is that's a challenging one. I hear that Bugs was a lot of fun. You guys have talked about that very fondly for a long time. Gosh, I guess Mark Shepard. No, that's an actor on the show. I don't know, what are some other villains that we've had on the show that were not fun to work with? Leviathans were that was a little creepy. That mouth was kind of disgusting. And yeah, I think Leviathan is a good answer. That's a good answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi. And to Misha.
Yes! That's awesome.
During season 6, when Castiel was watching porn for the first time.
Yeah.
Did you influence him?
We were watching. Did they actually came up with a pizza man and babysitter?
Wait. Rewind in your brain to make sure you heard what you just heard before answering this. Will you say it again?
It actually was a pizza man and babysitter porn on the screen of what you were watching during the film.
Slightly different wording this time.
Yes. Whenever you see a screen, like a monitor, like when we're filming, whenever we're filming, you will see, for example, you'll see me on the computer doing some research, right? But then the camera will be on the other side, so it's just showing the back of the computer, right? You're not seeing the screen. What will be on the screen there will be an image of a naked man sitting on a bed with a penis that comes down to the thing is terrifying. This is not a joke. So, and the reason that this happens is that they'll say, there's somebody who can control, what comes on the screen remotely, right? And so, camera will be on, I'm doing research, and then that pops up. And it's very difficult to keep a straight face at that point. So that does happen. Also, we'll have magazines sometimes. We'll also be magazines. Some serious shit going on.
So they use the Busty Asian Beauty magazines for some reason, and they don't need to put it outside of like actual Playboys and porno magazines, but because they're putting a fake cover and a fake back onto an existing magazine. I mean, it could be
Better Homes and Gardens or something like that.
People, TV Guide, it could be anything, but they use actual like pornographic magazines. Like, guys, you can use. It's just, it's a little interesting. Yeah. Those are our deepest, darkest secrets. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi.
I have a serious question for both of you.
Great.
Well, it's difficult to choose a profession. And have you ever thought about another profession, or maybe have any doubts in your choice? And what advice can you give to us about choosing a profession?
Are you saying that we should consider another profession?
She's saying maybe your true calling is elsewhere.
Elsewhere? Yes. Your talents lie elsewhere, boys.
Choosing a profession is very, 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 very difficult. I just read, there's an American comedian named Dave Barry, and he has a list, he calls it 19 things that took me 50 years to learn. And one of them is something to the effect of, never confuse your career with your life. And then he goes back and says, let me say that again, never confuse your career with your life. He has career which is like, somebody who's nice to you but mean to the waiter is not a nice person. He's very funny. But I would try to, gosh, it's really hard, difficult to answer this question from this perspective. I think I feel very lucky and blessed to be doing what I'm doing. I was going to be an engineer, go engineering, but I kind of happened into this. I worked very hard at it, and I know he did as well. Try to do something that, it doesn't need to make you, there are times when this job doesn't make me happy. There are times when this job, there's nothing like it. There are other times when I'm like, man, why can't I just be a teacher or something? So don't set the standard so high where your feeling is, man, if this job doesn't make me so happy each and every day, it's wrong. But try to do something that doesn't specifically make you unhappy. If there's something that you enjoy more often than not, this is maybe awful advice. Look for something that you're into and realize that everything at some point in time is going to be work and it's going to be a sacrifice and it's going to suck. No matter how cool your job is, you can be an ice cream taster. Sometimes you're going to be full of ice cream, you know? And that was my dream as a child, was to be an ice cream taster.
You know what's really weird? This right before coming on this trip, I was explaining to the kids, like, hey guys, I'm going to be gone for a couple of weeks. It's really hard on them at this age. And I was like, I'm going to be gone for a couple of weeks, and I just want you to know why I'm doing this. I'm doing it for work. This is part of my job, and I have to do this, you know, so that we can pay for food and for our house and for our clothes and stuff like that. And I love you guys very much, and I can't wait to come home. And he says, Wes said, well, Dad, could you maybe just get another job? A different job? Where you didn't have to go away? And I said, like what? And he said, you could be a taster. No joke. He said you could be a taster.
That's my boy. That's my boy. You saw us eating that gummy bear together.
Yeah.
Try to do something that you... There's a great quote, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. But even if you love what you do, there will be times when you hate it. So just try and do something that you enjoy. It sounds like a paradox. Yeah, something you enjoy.
I would echo what he's saying. I think that I mean, especially if you're interested in a career that's kind of creative and maybe a little bit of a long shot, like acting is, or writing, or anything in the arts, I have seen a lot of people hide in other work. So they'll get a job that takes 40 hours a week that's doing something that isn't really what they want to do, but they tell themselves they have to do this, but what they really want to do is something else. And I think it often ends up becoming an excuse to not pursue the thing that they really want to do. I actually really believe that if you really want to do something, you have to kind of be willing to take some risks and make some sacrifices, and maybe, you know, when you're starting out, not make very much money doing it, or live on your parents' couch while you're doing it. But if you throw yourself into something that you love, and you do it with passion, and if you make it about the process, not the product, like you enjoy the work itself, I think it's almost impossible not to be a success in some way or another. So, yeah, same advice as everything.
Speaking of enormous success, hi everybody. Hi. You said the safe word, success, and it triggered me to come on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Misha here at going out to their theme song, Sweet Child of Mine. I don't ever hear